All right. So, believe it or not, here we are. It's midterms. Can you believe it? As you all know, I was an elementary school teacher for quite some time, and so I keep wanting to call this midterms. And so I'm just going to call it midterms instead of mid-session. So we're actually a little over the mid because mid was last week. And so this is sort of the mid reveal. And I always like to do this because I like to kind of talk about things that happen halfway through. And one of the big things that happens halfway through is we typically start to lose a little bit of that motivation. And we also start to really crave foods that aren't necessarily on the plan. And so, see, it's not a Zoom presentation unless my dog barks, so we got that out of the way. So tonight I'm going to talk about sustainable splurges and binge blocking. And I know that I've talked about binge blocking before in the newsletters, and it's in the startup materials, but I want to kind of present it to you face to face. And I want to talk about avoiding some of the scams that are out there when you are out shopping, because that's something that I kind of talk about in podcasts and I talk about it throughout the day, but it's not something that I've talked about in a Zoom presentation. And then weave that into realistic and sustainable lifestyle wellness, because this is something that I want you to be able to do forever, ever. And then kind of end with the registration process for the next session, because I did change it a teeny tiny little bit. And you guys are the first group that I'm doing the new process with. And you guys are the lucky ones, because if you screw it up, it doesn't matter, because you're like the test group. So I'm always changing things, and particularly after being sick, my brain's on super overload. So you guys got all this fun, exciting stuff. Okay. So first things first, motivation is something that, comes and goes. It's like waves. And I've had presentations on this, and I've done podcasts on this. And the reason why I need to tell you that it comes in waves is because oftentimes people don't realize this. And people think that when you lose your motivation, that you're done. Like as soon as you lose that motivation, people put up the flag and they order pizza, and they think, okay, this diet's over. I'm moving on to the next one. And so I need to let you guys know that the motivation literally comes, it's seasonal, just like season. So when we know, living in the Midwest, and if you aren't in the Midwest, you're lucky, or wherever you live, the weather changes. And so you just cope for it. So on a rainy day, you just know it's a rainy day, and you put on your raincoat, or you don't go outside, or you don't straighten your hair, you deal with it. So same thing goes with motivation. If you don't build that in to your wellness and your pathway, then you're going to fail, because you're going to get yourself frustrated, and then you're going to quit. So that needs to be known, because we are so hard on ourselves. And the second that first month is done, and you're done being excited, and you're done with the newness, and those first 5, 6, 7 pounds melt off, and it starts to slow down, the motivation slows down too. Well, I'm here to tell you that there is no program, there's no diet out there that is one that will be sustainable and that will work, in which you are going to lose 5, 6, 7 pounds every single week. And so this, and so sometimes it helps to hear someone say that. It's silly to think that there is such a thing out there, even though we all buy into it, we all have. You have to kind of step back and go, okay, slow and steady is the way to go. And when you're having a low motivation week, just like a rainy day. You put on your raincoat and you just deal with it. And I have low motivation weeks all the time. The difference between my low motivation weeks now and my low motivation weeks years ago is years ago, I would order pizza and then I would wear loose clothes all week and I wouldn't work out because I would feel down on myself, and then I would gain weight, which then would cause more lack of motivation, and it would just continue, thus explaining my 30-pound weight gain 6 times over. Now, when I lose motivation, I literally will be sitting on that couch out there eating potato chips for dinner and going, I'm just having a low motivation week, and I shouldn't be eating these potato chips for dinner, and they don't even taste good, but I don't even care. And yes, that does happen. The difference is when I'm doing that, I know it's going to end like a rainy day. Okay, so build that in. And I'm looking at some of the people that are here right now, and some of you are very new to this program, and some of you are like, the weight loss is starting to slow down, and I could see the motivation slowing down. You have to be real about this and know that it is inevitably not going to always be a bed of roses. Just like a marriage, just like a best friend. You know, I want to kill mine most of the time, but I love her, and so that is like no different than this. Okay, so with that being said, moving on, how do you incorporate having some sustainable splurges in with a program like this? Because, you know, you're not going to go the rest of your life without eating potato chips for dinner. You know, you're not going to go the rest of your life without having the indulgence of a cookie, or you know, going to your beach house and overdoing the beer or the natural platter. So how do you know where to stop, and how do you draw the line? That is a really hard thing to learn, but it's not impossible, because anybody that's lost weight and kept it off has learned it. And there's a very, very, very fine line. I mean, it's literally like walking on thin ice. If you walk too far, you're going in, and you might not come out for a year. And so you have to be very careful when you're walking on that thin ice, and it's a learned behavior. And so you have to learn it, and you have to self-forgive if you overdo it. And so I'm going to start the presentation with talking about how to incorporate these sustainable splurges in with your wellness routine. Now notice I don't call them cheat meals, and it took me a long time to stop calling them cheat meals, because society calls them cheat meals. People on board with me all the time, and they're like, when do I get a cheat meal? You know, and I say this in the material, I say it in my book. Cheaters are cheaters. We don't respect anybody that cheats. We don't cheat in games. We don't cheat in relationships. We don't cheat on our taxes. We don't cheat anywhere. Why would we cheat on our health? And having an indulgence is allowed. I mean, you know, we have to change that mindset. That's what gets us into trouble. You know, you're not having something toxic. You're having a cookie. You know, so cheat is out. You know, it's a sustainable splurge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and I have put together a little presentation, and my Zoom here sometimes does wacky things because I actually have 4 screens. So I'm going to first share it and then make sure that you guys are seeing the right screen. So I'm going to start the presentation first, and then slideshow. And let's see, which screen do I want here? Okay, are you seeing this? Are you guys seeing where it says sustainable splurge? No? See, I knew this was going to happen. All right, so let me do this one more time. New share, there it is. I got it. There it is. Okay, are you seeing it now?
Yep.
Okay, all right, so sustainable splurge. Don't cheat, enjoy. And I want you to think about this because you guys have all had that, cheat meal, as we call it, and you've all splurged before. When we do something that we're not supposed to do, from childhood on, I mean, think of those of you that have children, or if you don't have kids, dogs, pets. When we do something that we're not supposed to do, we do it fast and we do it secretively, and we usually don't enjoy it. So if you are going to eat a meal, and I'm not saying it's secretive, but even if you are going out with your family, you're eating pizza, you usually don't enjoy it because you think you're doing something wrong. So when you have a sustainable splurge, you are actually enjoying it. And there's such a difference. You will flavor it. Your tongue has all these taste buds on there, and we miss it all the time because we're so rushed to eat it, because we think it's our last meal. So you have to change your mindset with this splurge. And you have to know that it's completely allowed and you're enjoying it. Like a vacation. When you go on vacation, you're not playing hooky from work. When you play hooky from work, you're like at the red light going, oh gosh, I hope nobody catches me, and you're zipping through the streets. That is not what we're doing. You're on vacation, it's allowed, okay? Same thing with this. All right, be realistic about it. If you wanna have a cheeseburger, and then that is what you wanna eat, then eat the cheeseburger. But here's what happens. When people decide that they're going to go out to dinner, for example, and they are planning on Saturday nights out to dinner, right away, they instantly say to themselves, that is going to be my splurge night. And that's not necessarily the way it should be, because what if on a random Wednesday night, or Wednesday afternoon, you decide you want to eat a brownie because you really want the brownie. You should have it when you want it, not because, society says Saturday nights should be the night to have it. Because, sometimes we force ourselves into situations that we don't really want to eat something because it just happens to be there. So the reason I'm giving you this example is, you can go out to eat and you can order a cheeseburger. I can't even see to let this person in. Hang on one second. I'm going to blow this whole thing now. Oh, here we go. Got it. Can you guys still see the screen? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. You can go out and have a cheeseburger and not even have it be a splurge. Because you can go out and have the cheeseburger, you have your bun, you have your meat, you can say, hold the cheese, you can say, hold the mayo, you can say, hold the fries, you could eat till you're full, which most of the time is going to be a half a burger, and now you've enjoyed this burger. And you could mathematically figure out that it's probably 400 some calories, and you didn't splurge. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you don't have to eat the whole burger. You don't have to stuff yourself. When you go out to eat sometimes, these burgers are massive. And I've done it. You guys have done it where you say, I'm going to have a burger, and then you eat too much, and then you feel sick, and then you're like, what did I do? So change that mindset. If you want the cheese on there and you want the mayonnaise on there and you want to eat the entire thing, then do it. You're allowed to do it. But don't then the next day have a pity party and eat a plate of brownies because you are feeling bloated and move on with your day. It's just water retention. It's going to drop. Do you see the difference? There, I mean, because there is a huge difference. Pizza is my favorite example. For years, when I would order pizza, I would always have a stomach ache. We would literally eat pizza till we were full. In fact, I was talking to one of the doctors that I'm collaborating with today, and I said, yeah, I would eat the pizza. I would eat that last slice, even though it tasted like cardboard. It was cold. It had no flavor, but I was eating it because you know what? I wasn't getting another cheat meal for a week. So I was going to eat it. How counterproductive is that? It didn't taste good. I literally was eating it going, this doesn't even taste good. Why? Change the mindset. So instead, order your pizza, have one big slice, portion it out. You know, maybe the pepperoni is not that important to you, because the pepperoni, if you look it up on FitnessPal, is going to closely double your calories because it's all fat, no nutritional value. Have a bigger piece of pizza without the pepperoni. If you want to have the pepperoni, like I said, have it, be done with it, but don't sit there and eat stale pieces of pizza because you feel like you did something wrong. Okay? Be realistic. Since the beginning of time, people think it's a forbidden food, so we don't have it. Any questions so far? My favorite example, French fries. You know, I love French fries, but they're touch and go. You know, they're either great or the second they're not warm anymore, in my opinion, I don't want them. And so there's a lady in our group. I don't think she's with us right now, but she texted me her weight this week and it was up a pound, and she sent me the little McDonald's emoji. And I said, I'm gonna put this in the presentation. I, for years, would not allow myself to have fries because I would eat fries and it would be, well, I gotta just eat as many as I can because they're not allowed. And I've already screwed up, so let me just eat as many as I can because I'm starting fresh tomorrow. And so I changed my mindset, and now if I want fries, I will have 10 fries. And I'm sorry, but I love McDonald's French fries if they're fresh. And so if I want to have McDonald's French fries, I will have McDonald's French fries. But I kid you not, I will only have 10, and I will pick the best 10 in there. And I mean, I am like picking like the best 10, and in my opinion, after by the time I eat my 10, the rest are cold and not even good anymore. I don't want them. I've figured it out. It's probably 70 calories. I don't feel guilty, and I actually don't even want them anymore. It's like the child that you say, get down from that table, and they keep climbing up. It is so very true. And so start implementing that in there. You want to have a little piece of cake, have a little piece of cake. You are all masters of MyFitnessPal now. You can figure out what 10 French fries are worth. Put it in your FitnessPal and figure it out. And you can have them. But again, you start doing it every day and your scale starts not moving, then we have to reevaluate. And I'm not implying that you do it every day, because clearly if you do it every day, it's going to slow down your progress. So be realistic. And can I also tell you, the reason I had this conversation with this doctor today is because I was eating my 10 French fries when I called him. And he says, you know, am I interrupting anything? Yeah, I'm eating my 10 French fries. And he's like, what? And so I told him the whole story. And I ended up only eating 7 because they weren't, in my opinion, good enough. And they were perfect. So what do I do with the other ones? It doesn't matter. I give them to my dogs. It doesn't matter. And I got out of my system and moved on with my life. And let me tell you what, the ones that I did eat were damn good because they were good. If I would have finished the rest of those fries, for sure the rest would have tasted horrible. Okay. And then start to notice too, when you're places in restaurants, start to notice people like eating those last remains of stuff. You're like, that can't be tasting good. Just people eat it anyways, you know? So, all right. So next, how can you avoid overeating? Because, you know, sometimes we can't stop at 10. You know, it's not a matter of stopping at 10. It's you can't stop at 10 because, you know, the food tastes so good. And if you're hungry enough, you will keep eating. So I came up with the binge blocker. And I accidentally came up with this idea, and you may have heard the story before because I've talked about it in my podcasts, but I was going out to dinner with a bunch of friends, and dinner reservations were at 7, and there was no way I was going to make it till 7. I was starving. So at 5 o'clock, I made myself a Greek yogurt, and I just threw some peanut butter in there. And I remember calculating it out and going, it was like 300 calories. I'm like, you know, what a waste. I'm going out for sushi. I just wasted 300 calories. So, and no joke, the whole time I was like mad at myself because I'm like, that's like a whole sushi roll. And so we get to my favorite sushi restaurant, and there's like 12 of us, and all these rolls came out, and it was 2 hours later, and I'm sitting there and I'm like nothing really appealed to me. And I mean, I was so hungry at 5 o'clock. And so all these women / they were all my clients too, were like, you know, like, you know, and because they all did the other trick of, I'm not going to eat all day because I'm going out for, you know, dinner. And I grabbed a couple rolls. I had my martini. I ordered my dinner. I ate it, and I left the restaurant. I swear to God, I crossed, like, I mean, I've run Boston Marathon 6 times. You would have thought I crossed the Boston Marathon finish line. I was like, ah! I was so excited that I didn't overeat. And it was because I had my 25 grams of protein and my healthy fat. And I've experimented many times with other snacks. You know, like, let me have some carrot sticks before I go out. No. Let me have some, you know, cheese and crackers. No. You know, those things are going to spike your insulin levels, which is going to actually cause those digestive hormones to start, and then you can't stop. And then you're eating cookies, and now you've ruined your appetite. So this, in my opinion, is genius because it's compact. You're not full. You still have an appetite for your dinner, and it's healthy. So my 300 calories I was so mad about saved me 1,000 at least. And so now when I go to my mom's, who likes to overfeed me, or, you know, you go to that occasional, you know, potluck that has all your favorite, you know, guacamole spreads, and you just know you're screwed, I will have my binge blocker. And it is foolproof. I mean, foolproof. You know, you don't need to have a spread of appetizers and then eat dinner if you're trying to watch your weight. You don't. And so the key to the binge blocker is not just have a snack. It's 20 to 25 grams of protein and the healthy fat. And it's not, my dog knows how to open this door. It's not, again, an apple. It's not celery sticks. You need to have that protein and you need to have that fat. And the reason for this is you have to beat the digestive enzymes. So there's these enzymes that are secreted as soon as you smell food. You start salivating. In fact, I could show you a picture right now and you'll start salivating. Even if you're not hungry, you will. But if you're hungry, right, that saliva hits your stomach and your stomach starts secreting these enzymes. Well, as soon as those enzymes secrete, messages get sent to your brain. And do you see this little guy here? Those of you that have read my book, these are gargoyles. These are monsters that live in your brain, all right? And they come out and they sit on your shoulder, they perch on your shoulder, and they literally take over your thinking. And then you have no control. You literally don't. They're gargoyles. And you have been there before where you're like, what's wrong with me? I can't stop munching. It's not you. It is those digestive enzymes. They're hormones. Hormones are uncontrollable and you can't stop them. So the only way to stop them is to beat them. And you can see this gargoyles holding the clock at 3 o'clock because that is the witching hour. You've eaten lunch at 12, and then at 3 o'clock, you smell food, and it's over. It's over. So if you beat the hunger, get in front of the problem, and beat the hormones, the gargoyles will not come out, and they will leave you alone. And so this is no joke. If you allow yourself to get hungry, it's uncontrollable. It's like you've been taken over by these like body snatchers, and you can't stop. Another thing people do, another mistake people make is they'll have, again, the snacks that aren't on your meal plan. I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to save myself some calories. I'm just going to have some cucumbers. I don't know why Irene wants me to have, this tuna and avocado for a snack. That's goofy. I'm having dinner in 2 hours. The tuna and avocado is a couple hundred calories that's going to save you so much mindless munching. And again, the metabolism is going to move. So if you beat this gargoyle, right, then you go out and you go decide to have this burger, you're pretty satisfied with eating just a half a burger and 10 French fries. If you have your celery sticks and you go, you're not stopping. You're eating the whole thing and then some. And now you've eaten thousands and thousands of calories, and the mental impact that's had on you is what sets that motivation down, and that's really hard to get out of. Okay, is this making sense what I'm saying? And this happens right about now. It's like that month, that month 2, you're kind of like, and not just month 2. Some of you have been with me a lot longer. It's cyclical. Like I said, it's just what happens. We have our highs and we have our lows. And so you have to just always stay steady, keep that steady. So questions about the realistic, sustainable, questions about the binge blocker. There's a list of binge blockers in your startup materials, but there's no magic to it. But my suggestion is it shouldn't be a big platter of green lettuce. It should be compact. It's a snack. You're not here to stuff yourself. It should be a snack. So a protein shake with some peanut butter would be great. You know, chicken breast with avocado, an omelet, you know, all these things that are, again, 25-10. You don't, the point is not to be stuffed, because you don't want to go out to dinner and then not want to eat anything. And don't make the mistake I made once. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to this party. I'm not gonna eat anything. So I overdid it. I had a cup of cottage cheese, which is 25 grams. And then I did a full can of tuna fish. This is a side note. This is when we were moving and I had no food in the house and like no dishes. And then a half of a avocado, which it really wasn't that much. And it was 450 calories. I didn't eat for like 2 days. I was so stuffed. So you don't want to do that. And you will get a stomach ache. You know, I mean, you don't want to be that person either. But, you know, someone was telling me she's a teacher and she's going back to work and she can't eat with the mask on. You shouldn't eat, you know, massive amounts of protein thinking it's going to tie you over for the day. That's not the point of this. The point is to stay satisfied, to get you to the next meal, to avoid the hunger hormones, because those hunger hormones are what gets you into trouble. And so when you wonder how people can stop at 10 French fries, that's why. Because we don't ever get to that point where we're famished. And if I did, believe me, I would eat them all. And I have. Okay, so next. The next part that I want to bring to your attention is, and these are all my little words that I've made up, is I don't want you to get crock blocked. And so my word for crock blocked is we are all kind of subjects and targets of a multi-billion-dollar marketing world, and everything's about money. From protein bars to supplements to Greek yogurt to everything that you see on the shelves. In fact, 80% of products at the grocery store are Crocs. And that is not a joke. There are, and if you listen to my podcasts, and I encourage you to, because this is where you're going to hear all this stuff, there are 30 different types of names for sugars out there. And you would never look at them and think that they were sugar, because these manufacturers give them these fancy names and make them sound like they're healthy, but they're sugar. And so you're eating it thinking, oh, you're doing yourself good. And what they then also do is they slap these big words on there like Greek yogurt and flax seeds. And yes, they might have a few sprinkles of flax seeds in there, but you're eating garbage. And so when somebody picks up the pomegranate organic, flaxseed, chia seed Pop-Tart from Trader Joe's and has that for a snack, and it's got, coconut, starch in it, which is really just a name for sugar, just eat candy. And so you have to always be careful. And so be careful, because a lot of these snacks that are out there actually will spike your blood sugar and cause you to want to eat and cause you to want to munch. And when that happens, that's when you all think that you've lost motivation. And then I get the text or the phone calls, and I want to go back to month one. I was so motivated at month one. There's nothing special about month one. Month one is special because you were motivated. And month one, you weren't buying the pomegranate Pop-Tarts from Trader Joe's because you were sticking to what was on the meal plan. And so the pomegranate Pop-Tarts, that was a bad example. There's pomegranate Fig Newtons that you might think are good, or the Greek yogurt that's, loaded in sugar, that is causing your blood sugar to spike and giving you those munchies. And so now you're eating the munchies, and then you're not eating your dinner, and then you're skipping your dinner, and then you're eating a 10 o'clock p.m. snack, you're derailed. So look at every label and just know. See the chicken with the gloves on? I mean, literally go into every grocery store armed, knowing that you are the subject of marketing. And I go crazy. I mean, I do. I'm like, I like this. It says Greek yogurt ice cream. It's still ice cream, for God's sake. I mean, you just have to be really watchful. And it's not that you're going to harm yourself by having that. It's that it's going to derail you, because it's going to cause the munchies, and it's going to make you think that you're eating something healthy and you're not, which is going to delay your progress, which then is going to make you lose motivation. That's where that's going. Okay. And everything in moderation. You know, if you want to eat the pomegranate organic Pop-Tart, great. But get on that scale, log it, and be real. If you start seeing that the scale is not cooperating, then, and you're logging it, then we got to look and go, maybe it's these snacks that you're having that aren't what you should be having. Because month one, everybody wants to go back to month one. There's nothing special about month one. What's special about it is that you stuck to it. That is what's special about month one. It's infamous. I hear it all the time. You stuck to it. You reported to me. You weighed in every day. You logged everything. That's what's special about month one. So keep that in mind. Okay. And don't be afraid to Google. I mean, I'm constantly Googling, nutritional information. The first 3 items on the ingredients, look that up. I guarantee you a lot of it is sugar, and you don't even know because of the label. 30 different names for sugar, all FDA approved, but sugar. $1 billion in sales last year of protein bars. I'd say 90% of them equivalent to Halloween candy. And I'm going to do a podcast on that. Is no joke. Cliff bars, have a cookie. Lara bars, and mind you, you're getting some nutrition, but if you're trying to lose weight, don't have a Lara bar, because it's got more sugar in it than a Twix bar. So be careful. Be careful. Okay. All right. And again, you're going to lose your motivation. So that's why I'm kind of weaving that in. All right. And so finally, wellness is forever. As I develop this program, and as it's grown, I've tweaked it along the way. And one thing that I repeatedly say is there is no start to this. There is no end to this. I have to have a start and end for, session reasons and payment reasons, but, wellness is forever. And this should be something that you do and you learn. It's ongoing. It is something that you should embrace and encumber and learn from every single mistake. And I'm frequently talking about these 3 pigs. And it's the best analogy ever. Because first off, if it's not sustainable, then don't do it. Don't touch it. I'm an avid runner. You guys all know I've run 50 marathons. I'm a cyclist. I've gotten on my bike and ridden hundreds of miles in one sitting. I cannot swim competitively. I've tried doing triathlons many times, and I've had to call for the little boat to come get me. And so would I sign up for an Ironman? I mean, I would no. I mean, why would I jump into Lake Michigan and think that I can get to, I mean, it would just not make any sense. Would you go outside in sub-zero temperature with no protection? It's the same thing. When people do keto, are you going to go the rest of your life without eating watermelon and having a beer? Intermittent fasting. this will work for you. Yes, it will, but it's temporary. So why start it? You're not going to do it. So just like these 3 little pigs, you know, the one that built his out of straw, what a great idea. It was cheap. It was fast. He got it up quick, boom, boom. The next one with the wood, look at that, looks cute, adorable. The other one, they all made fun of him. Well, you know the end of the story. You know, it took him longer, but you know what? As hard as it was, and as frustrating as it was, and all those nights of lack of motivation, he thought he wasn't going to make it, and wanting to quit, just like you guys all probably sit there and go, this is not worth it. I don't want to do this anymore. You hold on to it, because when that storm comes, and I know, Sue, I see that you're here still. You know, we were talking about health and wellness. You know, we weather the storm, and when we get into weight loss, when we're in our 20s and 30s, it's about, you know, looking like the Barbie doll, and when it's in our 40s and 50s, it's about our blood work, and it's about avoiding cholesterol and heart issues, and you know, then in our 60s and 70s, it's about, you know, balance, and it's about longevity, and then it's about avoiding Alzheimer's. And I mean, there's always a reason. But in addition to this, it's not just about weight loss. It's about mood enhancement. It's about how you feel. Because you know what, I of course got into this because I was overweight, but being 50 now, and I hope you guys all can hear this part, because I know I'm seeing all of you, and I hope you all agree to this. How I feel and how you feel when you feel good about yourself. That brick house, all the time in the world that it takes, the longer it takes, the more permanent it's going to be. So slow, steady. Even if you have to take a month goes by and you don't lose a single pound, stay idle. Don't give up on yourself, you know? And there's plenty of people that are in this program that have been with me for years that they don't lose anything for months, but they don't gain it all back. And that's a huge message, huge message. So, any questions or comments? Nothing? I just babbled for 45 straight minutes. Beth, could I pick on you real quick for a minute?
Okay.
Yes. Because you did start with me in March, which was like in the thick of COVID. And I do talk about you often with people that start, because you didn't really need to lose weight when you started. And I think when you started with me, you started because you wanted to get healthier and change your eating habits and learn about food and everything. And here you are now, down 18
and a half.
Yeah. You know, agree. I mean, the energy, and you had a really scary health crisis happen. So
I did.
Yeah, I mean, anything to add? And you went on vacation, you've gone on vacation, and your weight is amazing and lower than I thought you would have ever wanted to be, but healthy, of course.
I feel really healthy and energetic. I can see the difference. I'm working on balance.
Yes, awesome.
Like today at Blast.
Which 5. Blast did you do?
Yeah.
Did you do 4?
Your Blast 5.
Oh, okay. How'd you like it?
It was hard. Holding the pose.
Yes.
It was hard.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot more to it. And you've had your splurges, right? You know, you went on vacation, you came back up a couple pounds and then dropped more.
Yeah, I did. I just splurged yesterday.
Yeah. And no weight. And you had a hard time at the beginning. The weight was not coming off.
No, it seems really slow.
Yeah. But look at you now. Living in the brick house.
Right. Now just to keep it off, right?
Yeah, you will. Anyways, so that kind of concludes, you know, my midterm presentation. I do want to take a quick minute to talk about the next session. This always confuses people. This session is not over. We still have a month left. I mean, this session for you guys goes until November 6th. The next session starts a week before you guys end, because I like to have a week with the new people before you guys start. So you have over a month left. So don't think this is over. Like I said, this is our like midterm. But you're going to start seeing me advertise this. And what's important for you is you guys could save money on your renewal by getting people to sign up. Most of you, I think a good 98% of my clients come from referrals, which is crazy because all I do all day long is advertise. and all of my referrals come from, clients come from referrals, which I'm very proud of. But in the newsletter, I put all the details, you know, Google review with links and website review. You'll get $10 off for each one. If you're an Ignite member, you'll get $10 off. And then if you refer, $10 off for each person. I mean, I've had people save $80 by getting referrals. And you guys are walking advertisements, so it's not a hard thing. So that's how that works. Now, this time I do have tier 2 and tier 3. And so if you don't get this right, it's not a big deal to me because this is the first time I'm doing this. But so if this is your first session right now, so Alyssa, you're on here, I think, and you're going to sign up again, then you're going to be a tier 2. It's your second time. And so the only reason I'm doing that is because when you sign up, you're going to get a different guide when you sign up. You don't need to read the beginning stuff again. You're going to get something that's more suited for the second round. And so if you're signing up for your third one, like Jean, which you signed up before I had this up, so I'll talk to you later about it and get you the startup guide, then you are going to get tier 3. And tier 3 is going to have like your other, like it's going to talk about tier 3 stuff. And so included in that, instead of you getting month 1 all over again, you're going to get the month plan that's appropriate for you. It's just a little less crazy paperwork for me too. And then Beth, who I think you're loyal next, right?
I think so, yeah.
So after tier 3, you're eligible for a loyal, which means at that point, it's $99 a year to get all of this fabulousness year round. So there's 5 sessions a year. And so you get year round sessions. So every single one of them, and like I said, there's 5, all the meal plans, all the, you know, the Zoom presentations, and you still get to text me, you still get all of that. It's not like you can't text me anymore. It's literally everything you get for the $99 a year. And the reason I did that is because there was an accountability piece that was missing after people were exited the program. People felt like they couldn't reach out to me if they needed, even though I would say to them, still text me. And then I'd get the registration a year later with the weight gained back. And I love the little community that I built. And I love that now new people could put something on Facebook, and my old timers, as I call them, chime in and answer the questions. And there is something to be said about kind of helping out the new people. You know, you kind of feel like, you know, so you don't have to get branded or get a tattoo or anything. So I haven't implemented that yet. So anyway, so that's how that works. And then, you know, that when you get to that point, you do get all the information on that. And so that is how that works. So any questions? And if you have questions about the tiers, you know, it's still early. I'm not even done putting up the materials for that yet, but I wanted to put that up there, and then that will keep going out each week. And like I said, you have an entire month yet, but some people really wanted to get signed up, and some people will wait till the last minute, and it makes no difference to me whatsoever. Okay. Questions so far? Christy, are you here with us?
I am.
Can you chime in for a quick statement? You don't have to turn your video on.
Yeah, I'm yeah.
Okay.
I'm all face. What do you want me to talk about?
No, I was just going to introduce you. Christy is one of my ambassadors.
Hello.
And she started with me and has lost
35 pounds.
35 pounds.
Yeah, March 19.
So a year and a half now.
Yeah.
And so how much of the presentation did you hear me talk about the realistic sustainable splurges and the
Yep.
Any comments on that?
You know, I don't do that too much just because I feel crappy when I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I really try to just stick to it. My husband would be like, oh, it's the weekend. You got to like just have some pizza with me just one day. I'm like, no, because I just feel crappy after. And then I feel like I have to work harder to get back. I'll have a bite or two, you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like you said, it's for the long term. Why I do something that's not sustainable? Why have pizza, like a whole pizza with you for one night? You know, I don't know. It's just,
well, and
I've grown accustomed to this lifestyle and
Mm-hmm.
I like it. And, you know, I don't want to be doing anything like that.
Right. That's totally what my point was. It was like, you know, don't eat it because you're expected to. And if you want to have, you know, have one piece, have it fit into your regimen. And, you know, and it doesn't have to be a food. I mean, it could be, you know, it could be a snack, you know, like what if you wanted to have you know, a brownie one night and that is it, you know what I mean? My computer's going wacky here. Are you still all with me?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. I got this new trackpad. Isn't it cool?
Yeah, it's very
Not
cool.
My elbow was hitting this. Apparently I can't control it. Anyways, but yeah, no, that is just it. It's like, you know what, maybe you wanted to go out. You know what I used to do sometimes with my splurges is I would have this massive salad that you know, had like real ranch dressing. I mean, I was like so excited about that, you know, like, whoa, like real cheap. I mean, I wanted something that I wanted. It, you know, it shouldn't be this, you know, entire pie. So don't fall into that pitfall of thinking that it should be this required, and the hogwash of it resetting your metabolism. That it does nothing for your metabolism.
No.
You know, there's all these theories that if you you know, cheat meal, it's going to enhance your metabolism. No.
Happy on the scale the next day and you feel bloated and you feel gross and you feel like you've, you know, and at this point it doesn't completely derail you, but you feel like, why did I even do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, again, you want to have Chinese food, have Chinese food. You don't have to eat the entire carton.
Right.
Or you don't have to go there and be like, this is my one night of having Chinese food, and order the deep fried one with the syrup. You know, you know, I mean, you can always have something that is realistic anywhere you go. And I have found, I have found that people just don't do that. People think that they can reward themselves with this food. And then we don't learn how to eat the right portions because we think it's all or nothing, you know?
Right.
Anyways, all right, you guys. Well, I am going to end our presentation so that we can go watch the little debate here. Thank you all for joining. And if you guys have questions after and you want to text me privately, I will surely answer them for you.
It's 7 o'clock.
Okay. All right, you guys. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.